let's get started. Hi, I'm Andrea Naceto Chavez. I'm with the CSUEA, which is the CSU Entertainment Alliance. I do the finance and operations. And today I want to welcome everyone here because we're hosting the Adobe Creative Apprenticeship Info Session. And we'll go through everything that Adobe has to offer, as well as I'll let you guys get started because I know you guys have a special surprise.
Awesome. Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm super excited to be here. My name's Julia. I am a program manager on the Adobe Creative Apprenticeship team. So I manage our apprenticeship program and our employer network strategy across the US, UK, and Canada. So I'm really excited to be here to share more about the program. We also have Lisa from our team that's on the call who will help answer questions in the chat. So if you have any, feel free to post them at any time and we'll keep an eye on it. And then Catherine, I'll pass it to you to introduce yourself.
Yeah, nice to meet everyone. Happy to see you all. Well, I guess I don't really see you, but nice to have you here. My name is Catherine. I also work with Julia on the Adobe Creative Apprenticeship team, and I specifically manage the mentorship component of our program. And then I'm also managing our Adobe Creative Career Discord server. So if you're on Discord, I'll drop the link to it later.
Awesome. And thank you again to the CSU Entertainment Alliance. We're really excited to be here. So two super quick things. We're going to raffle off 2 Adobe swag boxes at the end of the event. So just make sure to stay tuned and the team will make sure to raffle those off. And then the second thing, the CSU team is also going to be giving out free Adobe Max student passes for Adobe Max in October. So stay tuned as well for instructions on how to apply at the very end. And we'll go ahead and get started. So today we're just going to cover a little bit more about the Creative Apprenticeship Program, a little bit more about eligibility, a little bit about our employer partners and kind of what they're looking for and what we're seeing. And then we'll end with some application best practices and a Q&A. So the Adobe Creative Apprenticeship Program really helps place aspiring designers, photographers, and video professionals into creative workplaces to really help them get paid real-world experience to help them launch their careers. And to do this, Adobe partners with creative agencies, studios. We work with nonprofits, museums, consumer brands across the US, UK, and Canada to host these apprentices within their workplaces for about 3 to 6 months. Here is a look at the program components as a whole. And just for context, Adobe has a community events team that hosts a variety of events across the US, UK, and Canada. Some of you may have joined us for some of our events in the past, as well as virtually. These events range from things like career development sessions, product demos, networking, et cetera. And so if you happen to attend one of our events, you may learn more about the apprenticeship program there, but it isn't required to attend one of our events to apply. If you are interested in events, you can go to adobe.com/events for more information on events that might be near you. So the 3 pieces on the right that you see on the slide are the parts of the Adobe Creative Apprenticeship Program. And the first piece is our career content hub on a platform called Behance, which is owned by Adobe and a place where you can kind of showcase your work. Think of it as just like a place for lots of content, right? So we have articles, we have courses, we have live events, product, portfolio demos, things like that. It's accessible to anyone in the world and you can watch things live or on demand. And it's updated really, pretty regularly by our content team. The second piece and the third piece of the program are only open to those who are located in and eligible to work in the US, UK, and Canada. And the first piece is what we're calling Adobe Commission Opportunities. And that really allows creatives to apply for paid short-term projects with Adobe teams. So Adobe is your client, essentially. And so any team at Adobe can post these opportunities directly onto our platform on Behance. And candidates can apply directly. So like the Photoshop team can post, we have events teams, marketing teams, social media, Premiere Pro, InDesign, like you name it. Any team can post a project on there and you can apply for paid projects to work for some of these teams on a short-term basis. If you get selected for a commission opportunity, you also have the opportunity to join our mentorship program, which Catherine will chat about in a moment. You get a free year of Creative Cloud and a couple other perks as well. If you complete the commission opportunity successfully and the Adobe team that you work with recommends you, then you're then eligible to apply for the Adobe Creative Apprenticeship opportunities with our employer partners. And those are those 3 to 6 month opportunities, again, with our employer partners. Does this make sense so far, the flow? Can't really see you, but let me know if not. Okay, great. I'm getting a yes in the chat. Thank you. All right, we're going to keep going. Okay, I'm going to pass it to Catherine for these next couple of slides.
Yeah, so the next few slides are just a way to visualize what Julia just shared with us. So on the previous slide, she talked about the 3 components of the program, which are that content hub, the commission projects, and the apprenticeships. So this is basically just a screenshot of the site, which we will share a link to shortly, but you can also see it at the bottom of the slide. So as Julia mentioned, these are courses, live events happening on Adobe Live. It could be in-person events that are happening locally. And then there's also at the bottom of the page a link to our Discord community, which has even more events. We're doing portfolio reviews, we're doing AMAs, and a lot of other regular updates in there so that you can stay connected. We also post regularly in there with new projects that are being posted as part of this program. So it's a great place to receive information, especially for those of you who are already on Discord. Can you go to the next slide? Again, this is just mostly as a visualization, but Julia is going to walk through the entire website a bit later in this call. So these commission projects, they're basically just one tab over from those career guides. This is where you can apply and see all of those current projects that are currently sourcing a candidate. And then you can also scroll down and see even past projects that have been commissioned through this program. We've commissioned over 250 projects so far. So projects are coming in on a rolling basis from our team, not just ours, but as Julia mentioned, a lot of different teams at Adobe. And as you can see, here are the quick steps that you're going to take in order to apply to those projects. So you're going to have to go to that career guide hub, and you're going to complete at least one course there. We have a ton of different courses on a lot of different topics, and they range anywhere from 30 minutes to 90 minutes, from like how to create a portfolio project to how to like freelance and develop your client base. So there's a lot of really cool courses there. After you complete a course, you're going to get your Behance profile set up. We're going to ask you to complete 3 portfolio projects or add 3 portfolio projects to your Behance profile. And then that's when you're going to be able to start applying for commission projects. And I think that covers everything on that slide. I wanted to show a few examples of commission projects that I've personally commissioned through the program. There's a bit of a delay with the animation, but if you join our Discord community, you can see a lot of these things in action. So I commissioned some Discord emoji projects. I actually have a few more folks who are working on even more emojis for our Discord community. I've even commissioned someone for an animated Discord logo, Discord banners, event assets, really fun projects that I'm putting into the program. Julia, could you go to the next slide? But those examples are just examples from some things that I don't know if there's like a delay, Julia. Could you go to the next slide? Oh, thanks. But those are just examples of projects that I've commissioned. So there are, like Julia mentioned, a bunch of other projects that are being commissioned by other teams for different reasons. So we have like an example of a notebook that was designed and some patches that were designed for, I believe it was Adobe Max London. So these are just a few like short sample of projects that have been commissioned through the program. As I mentioned, we've commissioned over 250 different projects. And so once you're selected for a commission project, then we are going to guide you through the rest of the process and the program. You're going to receive a welcome email from our team, which will include information about your contract and compensation for the project. You're also going to get information about benefits related to this program. spoiler alert, if you're selected for a commission project, you'll get 12 months of Creative Cloud on us, and you'll also get matched with a mentor for some one-on-one mentorship. We have a network of over 165 mentors who span a lot of different industries and specialties, and a lot of whom are even part of our partner network, which we're going to talk about in a second. Some other quick things to think about as you're applying. So I know that this is maybe a few steps ahead of where you are now, but when you're applying to those commission projects, you can apply to as many projects as you'd like. Just keep in mind that you'll only be selected for one project. Most commission projects can be done remotely, but there are some that are on site or locally based. So, for instance, you might see one that says like event photography LA, and then that just means that it's going to be based in LA. And then we also welcome and encourage you to share all of these projects that you work on, whether it's a commission project or you work on an apprenticeship, on your portfolio. List us as one of your clients and add the experience to your LinkedIn profile if you have one. So definitely an experience that you can share with your network and with the world. And then I think that this is you, Julia, but I'm happy to take it too.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Okay, so happy to talk, and please keep posting your questions, and we'll also make sure that we have time at the end for questions as well. So in terms of apprenticeship eligibility, so just like for the commission opportunities that Catherine just mentioned, apprentice candidates must be located in and currently eligible to work in the US, UK, and Canada. We're looking for candidates that are interested in pursuing careers in those three fields that we had mentioned in the beginning, right? So design, so if you're interested in like graphic design or illustration or motion or animation or things like that, photography or video as well. This program is designed specifically for emerging creatives to really help them launch their creatives careers. So examples of this could be current college students, recent grads, individuals early on in their creative career. We put like an age range as a guide, but don't think about it in that way. Just think about it in the sense that if you're early on, less than a few years of experience in a creative industry, this program could be for you. And then, like Catherine mentioned, eligible apprentice candidates must also complete an Adobe commission project first before they're able to apply to apprenticeship opportunities with our employer partners. Okay, so here are some main employer focus areas for a lot of what we have. Almost 80 employer partners all over. And here's what we're seeing that they want and what they need so far. So the first, and I would say the largest, is graphic design and illustration needs. And the needs are going to vary. I mean, a few examples you'll see on the slide: print, brand identity, packaging, motion, a lot of social asset creation as well. So if you have any experience with that, I think that that is a plus to highlight. The second bucket, I would say underneath design, would be video. Examples, like short and long form video, if you know how to edit. A lot of our partners are into like just, again, social media asset creation, both on the static image side and also on the video side. So if you have any of those types of skills, I would definitely highlight that. And then below that, I would say is photography, classic, commercial product, event photography, lifestyle photography, and more. There are a few instances, I'll say, where other types of design skills are needed for the apprenticeship, such as like web, or if you have UI UX experience or product design experience. So I would definitely highlight those if you have them, because those are definitely nice to haves and something that our employers are also looking for on occasion as well. And then the apprenticeship terms are going to vary based on employer needs. And I'll show you an example of what our employer network and the postings look like. But some of the opportunities are 3 months, some of them are 6 months, some of them are in between, some of them are remote or hybrid or on-site, depending on the opportunity. And then some of them are full-time opportunities. So your classic like internship style, 40 hours a week. And then some of them are part-time. A lot of our employers are open to part-time employment as well. So more along the lines of between 10 and 20 hours a week, probably like 15 to 20 hours a week for a longer period of time. So it really just depends on what the employer is open to. And then, of course, what you're open to as well, based on where you're at in your studies. Here are a couple examples of Adobe's employer partners. You can find a full list on our website. We have a range of employers, as you can see, from larger creative agencies like 72 and Sunny and Buck, Wyden and Kennedy is on there. And then we also have smaller, medium-sized to smaller-sized studios as well. We work with nonprofits. So if you're familiar with Creative Mornings, we work with them. We work with the Freelancers Union, and we work with museums. So you can see just kind of a range. This is not everything. These are just, we're picking and choosing a couple to just show you here. Partners are accepted into the program on a rolling basis, just like students are, and based on availability. And they are all incredibly excited to work specifically with the program candidates. So these opportunities are not posted on LinkedIn. They're not posted on Indeed. They're just posted for folks going through our program, which I think is really cool. The employer partners are the ones that are posting job opportunities. They're the ones that are interviewing candidates and really managing the apprentice experience and scoping meaningful projects for you all while you're apprentices. So you're not working for Adobe on the apprenticeship piece, you're working with the employer partner. And once a candidate is added to our private apprenticeship portal, you'll be able to see those opportunities and apply accordingly. Okay, lastly, before I show you a quick demo, some application best practices. None of this is profound, but I do just want to mention it just because we've seen a lot of folks kind of coming through the program. Make sure you're checking our platform regularly, right? So opportunities, again, are posted on a rolling basis, both on the commission side and on the apprenticeship side. So if you don't see something that you like now, that's totally fine. Just like keep coming back, check regularly as the opportunities are often updated. The second thing I would say is ensuring your portfolio, your resume, your LinkedIn, and any other like relevant information is updated to best represent your creative skills, right? And then also making sure that it's linked on your Behance profile. You have to make a Behance profile first before you're eligible for any of this. While you don't necessarily need to use Behance as like your end all be all of your portfolio skills, make sure that your actual portfolio, if you have one, is linked onto Behance, because people otherwise won't be able to see your application or examples of your work. And then similarly, when you're applying to either a commission or an apprenticeship opportunity, I'll show you there's like an open text box. Let us know why you're interested. Link your portfolio again. Just give us as much information as possible so the teams are able to kind of sift through and really figure out if they want to work with you or not. Okay. I'm going to pause and I'm going to share our website really quickly, and then we'll take questions. So here is an example. So if you go to behance.net/resources, and I'm sure Catherine or Lisa, if you haven't already, if you could put it in the chat, you'll come here. This is like our main page, and you'll see the 3 pieces of the program that we just talked about. You'll also see them up at the top here. And so you'll see if you click into career guides, these are the courses. And again, they're updated regularly. So you'll have to complete one of these. It's just watching a video. You'll see some live events here, some articles that were written by our team. Finn was one of our first apprentices, so make sure to check that out. And then once you do that, then you can apply for commission projects. Here are some examples of commission projects that are currently open. And then here are some ones that are in the past. So you can see the pricing on there is what you would get paid if you were selected for that opportunity. And if you're interested, you can just kind of click in, see what they're looking for, what the deliverables are, and apply that way. And then on the apprenticeship side, again, you won't be able to see this right now because you are not added to the portal, but wanted to show you an example. So this is one of our agency partners, Wyden and Kennedy. They're looking for, right now, their posting is for an apprentice in London, so it wouldn't be relevant to any of you all, but you can kind of see a little bit more about them. This is their branding studio, what you would do, the requirements, what they're looking for. So you can kind of go through and kind of see what it is they're looking for and how to apply, and a little bit more about the compensation. And then here on the open text box is where I would say, hi, I'm Julia. I'm interested in this position because of XYZ. Here's a link to my portfolio. Hope to hear from you, just like you would apply to any opportunity. So it's pretty easy. And that's kind of it, y'all. That's kind of how it works.
Oh, Julia, if I could
Yes.
interrupt really quick. The only other thing that differentiates commission projects from apprenticeships with the like application process is apprenticeships you might have to, I think, Julia, correct me if I'm wrong, but some of the employers might want to
Right.
interview you and coordinate those. Whereas with commission projects, you'll usually be, selected for a project without needing to interview or meet with the stakeholder or team that's hiring.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a big difference. If you are selected on the apprenticeship side, for sure, you'll have a conversation with the team. It'll be more of a classic interview process, which we have resources for as well that we can share with you once you become like in like the ecosystem of the program. So, okay, I'm gonna stop sharing, or maybe I'll go back to the slide deck and I will share this tab. But maybe we can take a few questions. I don't know how we want to do this. Chanel, I think, had their hand up first. That's what I see. If you want to go ahead.
Sorry about that. Hi. I wanted to confirm the process of applying again. So we need to go through the Behance portal, complete a profile there. Is it a few projects there as well? And then we can apply for the apprenticeship with Adobe?
Yeah, Catherine, do you want to take that one?
I apologize. I was responding to some questions in the chat. Do you mind repeating it?
No, no problem. I was asking to confirm the process of applying for the apprenticeship. So we go on the Behave or Behave website, create a profile, and upload or do 3 portfolio projects. And
Yeah,
then
let me help with that. So basically the process is I dropped the link to this website in the chat. To simplify it, you're going to create an account first, which is free to do. And then you're going to, when you're on the site, you're going to go to career guides, and there's a lot of different courses to choose from. It's the first, section there. You're going to watch one of those, any one that you deem interesting to you in like your career path. And then Julia, if you could go to commission projects, the navigation that you see is almost like a stepwise process. So that helps too, if you think about it that way. You're going to browse these commission projects and you're going to, Julia just circled, there's like a to do list almost right there. It's complete a course, connect to PayPal or Stripe, which is like a requirement for Behance, and then have 3 or more projects on your profile. So it won't allow you to apply to any of these commission projects until you've satisfied all of those. So it helps guide you in that way. When it comes to like creating a portfolio project, I can share a good example of a Behance profile of someone we've hired through the program in the chat, just as an example, if anyone's interested. But it just has to be 3 projects. And in general, I didn't mention this earlier, but when you're making your Behance profile, you can add like a bio, you can add other links to socials like LinkedIn, Instagram, or even to an external portfolio that you have. If you have those extra other links and other places to, connect with you and see your work, I definitely recommend adding them. It just, all it does is help boost you in the application process anyway. Um, but yeah, then you're going to apply for a commission project that interests you, and from there, we really guide you through the rest of the process too. So the biggest thing to take home for everyone here is you'll need to follow those steps in order to be selected for a commission project. And once you're selected, we will get you connected to your free year of Creative Cloud, to your mentor, and then grant you access to the apprenticeship portal that Julia was showing. Do you have any follow-up questions to that?
no, but I'd like to repeat to confirm I got it all right.
Okay.
Create an account with Behance, go to the career guide, watch any video, then browse the commissions projects and do a commission project. And when that happens, you guys will reach out to us to walk us through that process. And then after that, we can apply to the apprenticeship.
Yes, that's
Right?
correct.
Okay.
Cool.
Great job. All right, Diego, I see your hand up if you still have a question. How's it going?
Hey there, can you hear me?
We can, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so I was more just curious because I'm sure like everybody's had the experience of like applying to like a million jobs and like you never hear back from them. I was just like I said, out of curiosity, if you guys know or are able to share like kind of um I assume it's like a lot of people are applying to these, and like is like there any I don't know how to word my question, but kind of like is there any difference from like kind of applying to like one of these things where it's like more, I don't know how to word it, like I guess like lenient on like, there's a lot of people that are just trying to get like their first job or like whatever, or is it kind of just like first come, first serve? Um,
It's a good question. I think, and I'll chime in and answer, and then let me know if that answers your question and we can go further. So everyone that is part of our program, so our employer partners that are part of our program, and then all of the Adobe teams that are posting commissions, they are part of the program because they want to be and because they are excited to work with emerging talent. So they know that you're still in school or recently graduated or don't have a ton of years of experience. I think that's what this program is specifically for. And they're screened and trained for that. So I wouldn't worry in that case if like maybe you don't have a ton, you know what I mean? Like a ton of experience. I think that this program is a perfect fit for folks that are in that stage of their career. With that said, though, I will say, like, just like with any other application or any other, project or whatever that you would apply to, they will pick people based on what they see, right? And so you like especially for creative roles, right? They want to see any example, right? So it could be class projects, personal projects, internship stuff. If you volunteer and you do like, or if you do freelance stuff, they just want to see some examples before they pick people to do the projects, just to know that they have potential and that they're capable of completing something in that capacity. And so what I would recommend is to have a portfolio that kind of represents what you can do. And then I don't know, Catherine, do you have anything to add? Because I know that you've hired a lot of people for commissions as well. Maybe what you
Yeah.
look.
Yeah, a few other things to think about or that I'd love to share is with the commission projects, because you'll need to be selected for a commission project before getting to the point where you can apply for apprenticeships. These commission projects are kind of like a right fit, right time sort of like and what I mean by that is like we talked about, the projects come in on a rolling basis. So if you don't see one that's a good fit for you now, you can always apply to the projects that are there next month or the month after that. Um, I wouldn't say it's like easy or difficult to be selected. I think that there's some factors that play in regarding your portfolio and your Behance profile. Does it showcase who you are and where your expertise and like growing talent aligns? And then I'd also say it depends on how long the project is up. So, for instance, I've put a project up, and I had like maybe 10 applicants the first day, and I already found someone that I really liked, and then I just moved forward with someone I found like really quickly. But there have been other projects that might be harder to find like the right fit for, and they stay up a little bit longer, and then there's maybe a more like longer search for something like that. So it depends on the project and the stakeholder, because my experience is also potentially different from another Adobe team. So all that to say, I wouldn't say it's easy or hard. One of the benefits in general is that the program is still pretty young. We launched in April, so the program's still getting started and we're still getting our name out there. So I would say it will be easier to apply now versus maybe next year, for example. So it doesn't hurt to start. So
cool, yeah. Yeah, thanks. I like that answer. That makes me feel a little better about it. I did because I signed up because I heard about this like I probably when it first got announced. So like I signed up for it, but I never got around to doing the courses or whatever that you have to watch, just because I was kind of like I probably won't even get like selected for anything. So why bother? But I just wanted to, I guess, kind of hear that from, it's good, someone that like actually, I guess, chooses people. So yeah, thank you.
yeah, don't put yourself down and feel like you shouldn't apply. You should apply. For reasons I already mentioned. And then also when you're selected for a commission project, you'll get to work with a mentor and they can help you work on your portfolio and all that stuff to help you better prepare for applying to apprenticeships too. So um yeah, we'll have a ton of commission projects, so just apply.
Cool. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Catherine. Yeah, I think that's really helpful. And then also on the employer side too, if you do get to that point, which we hope many of you do, I would say passion is also something that they look for too. So when you are applying and you have that text box, like say why, like why are you interested? Are there cool clients that they, browse their website, like do a little bit of research on the employer partner and really show that you're interested. And I think that goes a long way too. In addition, obviously, to your portfolio, but it's not everything. And so they're really looking for people that are a good fit as well. It's a great question. Thanks, Diego. Okay, we're going to keep going. The next person I see on here is Unimuki.
That's
Unimuki?
Nehemiah.
Hi, nice to meet
So
you.
I just saw through the requirements. I did kind of go through this once because I was trying to get an apprenticeship through Adobe, but I saw like you have to to apply to a commission project. Is that the only thing you can do? You can just apply or attempt and then you get accepted to an apprenticeship?
Yes, and if I understand your question correctly, yeah. So you have to do a course first, watch a video. You have to make a Behance profile, then you watch one of our free courses on our Content Hub, and then yeah, you would apply directly to opportunities that you're interested in for commissions. And then if you get selected for a commission, you'll do the commission with that team on Adobe through Adobe. And then if you're interested in apprenticeships after that, if you do a great job, then you would apply directly to apprenticeship opportunities with employer partners. And it all happens on Behance.
Okay, so making my Behance profile doesn't matter with my rates and stuff like that because I've never known how to pitch directly to to a potential employer to get accepted. So I
That's
think getting accepted to a commission is my only roadblock to getting into the apprenticeship.
Yeah, that's a great question. And Catherine, correct me if I'm wrong, but let me actually go back to the commission page really quick. So on Behance is used for a lot of different things outside of our program. And so you might get it's okay if you get a little bit if you're not sure. There is some language on Behance around pitching yourself and budgeting out or sending rates. That happens on Behance separately, which is probably what you're referring to. For this program specifically, you're not pitching a rate. What is on there is what is the budget and what you would be paid. So you don't have to think about, hey, I'm actually worth this, or that whatever is on there for this program is what is the budget and what would be paid for that project. Does that make sense? So you don't have to worry about doing that piece.
So I would just apply just to apply.
Correct.
Okay, but what would the employer still look at though? Would they still look at my Adobe profile?
Good question. Yeah. So when you apply either for a commission or a creative apprenticeship,
Right.
I would include your portfolio. I would include your LinkedIn or whatever you want to include on on your Behance profile. So on your Behance profile, like Catherine mentioned earlier, you can link your socials, you can link your resume, you can link your portfolio. So I would definitely do that because it's not by default. So you can definitely add those things. And then when you apply to the opportunities, they can see your Behance profile. That's the only thing they can see unless you share more. And so if it's not shared already, I would definitely link it all. And then in the description when you apply, you can also link it there as well.
So they can only see my Behance profile when I apply?
Correct. Unless you link it into your Behance profile or you link it when you apply in the text box. Does that make sense? So let me see. Let me show you.
Okay.
So for an apprenticeship, here is where you would say, hi, I'm Julia. Here's my profile here. If you link it there, then they'll be able to see it. If you link it there, and if you link it in your Behance profile, they will be able to see it. If you do not link it anywhere, you're correct. They will not be able to see it. And so that's why we mentioned earlier, make sure you're linking everything and you're sharing everything. And when in doubt, if you don't know if it's being shared, I would just share it. Share your resume, share a link to your portfolio, LinkedIn.
So this same layout works, is the same layout as when you apply to the commission projects?
Is it a little bit different, Catherine? Is it
there might be a slightly different question or something, but
slightly different question, but similar process where you go on the page, you click on the one that you're interested in. It won't let me do it because I have to do all of these steps first, but there's a similar open text box. Your Behance profile is linked when you apply to these opportunities. So
all right.
It's a similar process.
So another question, if I want to get accepted to a commission project, I mean, not commission. Yeah, commission. Um, how many on average would I have to apply to get chosen for anyone?
I don't think we have like a good like estimate on that. Sometimes people get hired on the first project they apply to, but sometimes you might apply to a few before getting selected. So I don't have like an average. I would just say continue to apply to projects that match your like your studies and what your portfolio shows, and just yeah, continue to apply until you are selected for a project.
Okay.
Thank you. All good questions. All right, next one, 11, and then Josue after that.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hi, yes.
So I do have a question about so what if you finish like let's say example, I'm already part of the apprenticeship program and I end up going to a different job, and what if I want to come back like the years later? Can that still happen, but like in a different position for the program, or how does
So
that kind of
like,
work?
so are you asking like if you're selected for an apprenticeship or if you're just in the pipeline kind of because
Like
if you're
like
in the pipeline,
mhm,
as long as your early career, you're eligible. So it's completely fine if you want to just wait and see and come back to it. As
mhm.
long as you're within a few years of professional experience, I think that you would be eligible still. We're not going to like kick you out as long as you're still early in your career. Now, if you get selected for an apprenticeship and you begin that apprenticeship opportunity, and
Mhm.
let's say you get halfway through or three-quarters of the way through and then you accept another job, no, you would not be able to come back and do another one. So I would just say like think about, timing. Obviously we want everyone to have jobs, and obviously a full-time job is secure, more secure than, a temporary 3 month to 6 month thing. But just know that, like, if you get selected for something, then you cannot come back and do it again.
Okay. And what if, because I saw you guys doing like the application for your portfolio and for the commissions projects and then the apprenticeship program, stuff like that. I'm an animation major, so I wanted to know from the commission projects, what would have been like a good project for that kind of specific major kind of thing. I just want to be curious about that because I'm open to any kind of arts kind of thing, but I just wanted to be sure what kind of position goes to that route.
Catherine, do you have any examples of animated projects that you've worked on?
Yeah, I've personally hired a few that are related to that. I don't know about all of the ones in the program. Admittedly, we have another team member who managed like the commission part of this program. But for example, the Discord emoji examples that I showed, those are both animated projects that involved like a component of motion for each one. And then I don't have the assets because I just selected somebody for the project, but I have someone who's working on creating like really fun social assets for this fun thing that we're doing at Adobe Max this year in LA. So they're helping me to create some really fun and engaging social content that will probably have a animation or motion component to it. So those might be some ways that it shows up in the program, but there could also be other projects too.
Okay. And just to clarify that this is just like you don't really have a lot of experience, but it's a good way to gain some experience to find a good job in the future, correct? I just want to clarify on that.
Right. Yeah. Every project that you put on Behance, it doesn't have to be something you did with a client in out in the real world or anything like that. All the projects that you put on Behance could be projects you did in school or personal projects. The program is hopefully intended and hopefully going to help students and recent grads and all those early career creatives like help launch their career by working with us and also hopefully by being selected for an apprenticeship.
Oh,
So,
okay. Okay. Well,
mhm.
thank you so much. I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Awesome. All right. Is it Josue? Did I
Yeah.
say that? Awesome. How's it going?
Hey, how's it going? I just wanted to ask, how much time should assuming we get a commission for a project, How much time should we expect to dedicate to the project?
I can take that
Do
too,
you want to
Julia.
take that one?
Yeah. Um, I guess it depends. Sorry, that's the answer for a lot of the project related questions. But when you go on Behance and you look through all the projects there, it will usually tell you like an ideal delivery date or final date. So that gives you kind of an idea of how much time you're working with. So, for example, a project that I apply to now, if I were applying, could say, we're hoping to finish this project October 31st, but whereas one could say we're flexible, we're hoping to finish it by November 30th, but flexible. So that gives you kind of an idea of time frame. And when you get into the question of how much time, that would vary based on mostly mostly the project itself, but also your comfortability using tools and working on projects like that. Most often, people are being selected for projects that already align with things in their portfolio. So you're most likely already going to be skilled at whatever you're applying for and selected for. I don't see a lot of people being selected for projects where they don't already have like something in their portfolio that shows that they can do that. So most likely, you're already going to be comfortable with that. I've had some projects where folks finish it in like 5 hours. I've had the Discord emoji projects that I've worked on. Sometimes I'm really impressed with the work really quickly, and I'm not totally sure how much time they've put into that initial first draft. But we might have like one or two rounds of revisions, and I say, oh, like, can you clean up the animation on this? Can you do this? So while I can't give you like an exact time, it would depend on the project, your comfortability with like the scope of the project, but then also like depends on how much going back and forth you might need to do with the stakeholder. Um, but from my experience, I haven't had to go back and forth that often, maybe once or
Okay.
twice.
Okay,
So
good. I'm just asking as a student, as a person who's, a full-time student and also has a part-time
Mhm.
job on the side. And, sometimes, both of them can be very time consuming. And, I just want to
oh
try
yeah.
to see if I can fit it in my schedule.
Yeah, these commission projects are mostly things that you can do in this corners of your life, unless it's one that says like, okay, we need this done in 2 weeks, then maybe don't apply for those ones. Those might be more challenging for you to, feel confident and do well in a way that represents you well. So I would apply to ones that maybe have more of like a time span because maybe they're a bit more flexible and can, aren't in a rush.
I will also add to that. I think that's a really good explanation for the apprenticeship pieces. So, the very end of the funnel, right? Like, if you're interested in a 3 to 6 month apprenticeship, that would be more time consuming, right? Like, that's like a real internship or apprenticeship opportunity. And you can work with the employer to see like what they want. You could see it in the postings as well. There are some that are, again, full time, 3 month, 40 hours a week situations. And then there's others that are more part time, 15 to 20 hours a week. But it sounds like you're already working as well and a full-time student. So I would just think about like the time management and like what makes sense for you when applying for both commissions and the apprenticeships, because they do vary for sure. Great question. Okay, I know we have more questions. I want to get to all of them. I'm just keeping an eye on time. The CSU team, do we want to do the raffle and the instructions about the Adobe Max passes, and then we can let people go, and then we can continue answering questions? Does that sound like a good idea?
Yeah, I can put the links to like apply to the apprenticeship, apply to the Adobe Max passes, and some of our social links below on the chat. As far as picking two swag winners, correct?
Yeah, let's go with two.
Okay. Yeah, we've been randomizing the names, so I just it's very difficult because we want to like pick everybody, you know? I just want to say you guys have asked some really, really great questions, and I'm sure, based off of what's going
Somewhat,
on.
not that much.
Oh,
I say
Oh,
it's going down a little bit, but just like everything,
I don't I don't know
it's
if
nothing new. But we know
can,
we
can
sometimes
someone.
people call us last minute.
Oh, there we go. Perfect. Sorry.
okay.
Go
Sorry,
ahead.
I was looking for where this was coming from. Um, So yeah, I mean, I think that I see all the questions in the chat, and I really appreciate everybody participating and those who've raised their hands as well to like chime in. So for our two winners for this swag, um, based off of what we've generated, our first winner is Chanel Williams. So I don't know if you're still here, please just
Yay!
say something. Yeah. So
Exciting.
great. Congrats. And then I'll announce our second winner, um, Jocelyn Monreal Velasquez. Let's see if you're
Thank
here.
you.
Yeah, absolutely. So as far as the winners, I know we talked about earlier, you can send your email and your name in the chat. I would just send it directly to Julia. And then they'll coordinate with both of you in terms of like receiving swag and where to send it to.
I'll put our alias in the chat and you can just send it to us. It's just creative apprentice at adobe.com. That's right, Catherine? At creative apprentice at
Yes.
adobe.com. So you can, if both of you could just send your name, email, and then your preferred shipping address. We'll get that to you in the next week or so.
Thank you so much.
Yay! And then, Andrea, I don't know if you wanted to also share. Okay, cool. You put the.
Yeah, I just put it. I mean, there's a lot of comments, but if you guys, I'll post it again because I know we still have ongoing comments on the chat. But all the links should be there in terms of both applying to the apprenticeship, how to apply for the Adobe Max passes in LA. I believe that's from October 28th through the 30th. And as far as like upcoming events we have and our CSUEA socials.
Amazing. Thank you so much for organizing that. Okay, so we'll stay on for a couple more minutes for questions, but if you have to run, I know it's Friday, it's Taylor Swift album release day, it's the weekend. So thank you all for joining us, and we'll stay on for a few more questions.
Awesome. Julia, I might like field you some questions from the chat if that's
Yes.
cool.
Yeah.
Because I was typing responses, but it might be easier. So we've seen some questions where it's like, my major is interior design or advertising or one of those fields. Can I still apply for an Adobe apprenticeship?
Short answer is yes, you can if you have the skills for the projects and the apprenticeship. So you don't have to be like a graphic design major necessarily, but they are looking for those types of skills. And so as long as you have those types of skills, we don't care like what your major is or what your background is.
Awesome. I'm seeing if there are any other unanswered ones. Seems
I
like
am
most of them
trying
were.
my very hardest to get everything. I am typing furiously because there's so many really good questions.
Lisa is our fearless leader. She built this program from the ground up, so she's also a great resource as well.
This is just a lot of activity, which I love. I love having so many good questions coming in.
Oh, here's a question, Julia. Is there going to be an event in San Francisco or Bay Area soon? Do you mind remembering or re-mentioning the website?
There was supposed to be an event in November, but unfortunately we had to take it off the calendar. But we will be back for sure.
And I just put in the chat too, adobe.com/events. They'll post sometimes the in-person events.
So just so you know, everybody, our headquarters is in San Jose, and we have another really major office in San Francisco, and we are around all the time. And those of you at SJSU, we're like right next door, so we do try to get there and see you all fairly regularly. So hopefully we will be back doing something in the Bay pretty soon, so we can meet and talk about some of this stuff in person.
Here's another question. Adding on to the question we just asked, what if you're a business major with marketing concentration, have not had much creative experience or exposure to it, but interested in growing those skills? What would your advice be?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. And I think it could be a good, at least the commissions piece and a lot of the courses and the stuff at the front end of the program, I think you should definitely check out. There are a lot of needs in the like social content vibes from a lot of our employers. So I do think actually having a marketing background is actually really exciting. I will say it does, err towards more of the creative side, like more of the design side. But as long as you put a couple projects on your portfolio and can show that you can do it, or maybe you start with a commission to kind of practice, I think that you would be eligible, because I think that's really great experience to have specifically. I don't know, Lisa, did you want to add more? Was that?
No, I think yeah, I totally agree. I think we are getting a lot of asks for social content creation, for marketing content. So it's not, like when we started this program, we were thinking, oh, this is going to be really just for like fine art, video, photography, things like that. And we have sort of pulled back from just our original thinking about what the disciplines were, because we're seeing that even a lot of the sort of more traditional design studios are doing so much like marketing, and social content creation, short form video, reels based content. And so business majors, like, yeah, we're totally interested in having you in this program. If you want to like get in there and read some of the content that we have on Behance and teach yourselves, join the Discord server, come to some of the events that we do in there, meet some of our mentors. Like, there are no education requirements to be a part of this program. We welcome people who are self-taught and who are just hustling to learn and sort of blaze their own path into a creative career. And that creative career, the definition of what that is changing all the time in this day. So you tell us, you show us, like, what does it mean to be interested in a creative career? And we'll try to match you with somebody. We'll get you a mentor. We'll put you with one of our Adobe Express mentors, who is using our newest tool, our mobile content creation tool that is AI first. And you can do something really cool and show us a new way to do things. And we'll try to get you an apprenticeship. That's one thing that I'll say Julia is doing really well, is making really bespoke matches too, and trying to take students who are really good at something and find the right employer for them. So just because you don't see it on the site right now doesn't mean that we can't make it happen. So just get started, get qualified and join the Discord server so you can talk to us on a regular basis and tell us what you're interested in.
Yeah, I fully agree. I did see one question around like starting a 7-day trial on Behance. That's just like Catherine said, for Behance Pro.
Behance Pro, yeah.
Create a Behance profile. It is completely free. To be part of our program, it is free. So if you see anything around like Behance Pro or anything like that, you do not have to pay for anything. We are paying you to do all of this. So yeah, create a profile is completely free. Watching the courses is free. And then you would get paid for the commission and paid for the apprenticeship opportunities.
And if you get selected for a commission and if you're out of school, if you're a recent grad and you're here anyway, because I know some of you said that you are, or you're going to graduate and you're worried that like you're not going to have tools or something after graduation. If you get selected, remember, we're going to give you the tools. So don't worry about that at all either.
How fast do we need to apply? I would say as soon as you see something, apply, because I think Catherine mentioned this earlier, but sometimes there's like a time crunch on the commission side in terms of when they need somebody. And so if you see something, apply for it. I would say the same thing on the apprenticeship side. Some of them are more lax and are just waiting for the right fit. And others are like, we want somebody to start this fall, or we want somebody to start this spring. So apply when you see it. I would say best practice is to check Behance like every week or every other week. I think is completely fine. You don't have to like check it every day by any means, but yeah, because it's all rolling. I think we had a question for the CSU team. Do we have to submit the form by the end of day? I'm assuming it's for the max pass situation.
Oh, the Google form, we haven't had a definitive like day that we're gonna announce, obviously before the event happens. But yeah, you can submit throughout, this week and next week, and then we'll pick a winner. We'll probably post it on social in terms of like when is the deadline for that.
I saw Diego, was that an old hand up or a new hand up for question?
It's a new hand.
Okay, cool. How's it going?
Okay. Doing good. Long time no see.
Bring him on, Diego.
Yeah.
So I just had a question, because I know you guys said that it's kind of everyone like early career. Is there anything that like like for instance, me, I graduated in the spring, and I've had the opportunity to like I've been kind of like freelancing for some people, but it's still like, I've been doing like kind of work for like I did a project for like Intuit through the people I'm working for, and like Gusto. Is that stuff that's okay, or is that kind of like not,
Yeah.
they're like kind of looking for like students or like
No, no, no. It's
okay,
for you.
cool.
It's for
Cool,
you.
cool.
Like
Yeah, I
if you
just
were
wanted to
already a designer at Apple, we would be like, it's not for you.
yeah,
Like
yeah. Yeah, yeah,
what we're
okay.
looking for is like like I tried to put it in the chat, it might be lost, but we're looking for people who just haven't had their big break yet, right? So you might be out of school, you might be getting a freelance project here or there. That's great. We're so glad. We want to give you a freelance project too, right? Come apply for a commission, get that on your resume, but you need more, right? You've got to build more into your portfolio. You've got to get more
Yeah,
experience on your resume. So before you've truly launched your career, like I think you would probably say, like, have you launched your career yet? Like, do you feel like you
no
got it?
way.
Right? No. Okay. So this program is for you.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Because I was really interested in like I guess the mentorship aspect of it, because that's like something that I feel like I would really benefit from, because I do motion graphics and I'm a video editor. And
Yes.
like I
And we
feel like that's kind
need
of
that.
stuff that,
Yes.
yeah, that's what I always
We
hear,
have
and
a
I
lot of
apply
people that
everywhere and
want
no
some
one.
stuff. Yeah. Do it. That's great. And
Yeah,
Catherine is our mentorship guru. So I'm sure she could pair you with somebody awesome.
cool. Well, that's good to hear. Thank you.
We also have employers that are looking for motion folks as well. So
Yes.
yeah. Keeping an eye on the chat and the time. Maybe we can take like a couple more. Okay, Lexi, I see your hand just went up.
Yes. Hi guys. Thank you guys so much for hosting. Just a little bit about myself is I graduated from San Jose State University in the year of 2022 with a major in advertising on the management track. So two questions is number one, I was wondering where and if I can locate more of these webinars regarding sales and PM roles. I know it might be a stretch question because I know we're talking about creatives, but since we're on a call, I might as well just ask.
I mean, I'll let Julia like continue my response. I would say probably not. Just based on commission projects I've seen so far, most of them are really like centered on graphic design,
Yeah.
illustration, video, and photo.
Okay.
So I'd say probably not, but it really would depend on like whether or not you can even get past the like commission point, and most of those projects are creatively based. Julia, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I would say for the most part they're creative based. We get questions too, like, are there like copywriting roles or marketing roles, or how do I work with Adobe? We're not like on the recruiting team either, and so we're not connected with those opportunities. And so for now, at least, our program is just, I would say, in those three fields that I had mentioned. It's not as much on the PM side.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was just wanting to know. I do
Yeah.
also have a background in creative.
Yeah.
Because I was part of the DBH agency when it was still, I believe it's still a part of San Jose State University. So
Yeah.
But great to meet you guys. I would love to connect with you guys on LinkedIn. So
yeah, please do. Yeah, please do. We're always open. Thanks for joining. That was a good question.
Cool. Thank you guys.
And then the question in the chat, the apprenticeship could be a launch pad for getting opportunities on a continuous basis. So you can only be accepted for one commission at this time and only one apprenticeship, but you can apply for as many as you want. But right now the program is set up to give as many people opportunities as possible. So right now we have it where you're only able to accept.
Yeah, but you said sometime earlier about how the apprenticeship could, like, depending after you're done with the apprenticeship, the employer
Oh, I got
could,
you.
you
Yes.
know.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. So yes, it's not part of the program, but I mean, there are a lot of our employers who are looking to hire either extended contracts, extended internships, or full time. That's like a lot of the conversations that I have with employers are really excited about this. And so if you do a great job and if there's an opportunity or headcount on their team, then by all means, but it would be between you and the employer.
Okay, so what if
Yeah.
so what if that contract runs out? What then?
Like if it doesn't go well, like if you're apprenticing with an employer and it's not working out.
No,
Yeah.
I'm talking about like it works out, but like the contract is over. Like,
Yeah.
will that employer like recommend me to another one, and then vice
Oh,
versa, and then it'll keep
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah, I mean, you should think about it in the same structure as an internship. Like sometimes internships lead to full-time opportunities. Sometimes they don't, but like you still get to say, like for example, when I left school, I did an internship at the Art Institute of Chicago. It didn't turn into a job at the Art Institute of Chicago, but I had that internship on my resume, which led me to my next job. So it was still that still was the most pivotal thing that I had in launching my career. I wouldn't have gotten my first real job if I hadn't done the internship. It would have been, personally for me, I would have loved if it had turned into an actual job at the Art Institute of Chicago, but it wasn't in the cards, right? They didn't have the funding to turn me into an actual person working at the Art Institute. Okay. Sometimes that does happen though. Like for example, at Adobe, it's about 50-50, I think, these days. Like our university talent team can convert our interns into full-time members of our team. Not everybody though. So sometimes there's competition. It's like, hey, some people really want to work hard to make sure that they get that full-time job offer. It doesn't necessarily mean that the ones that don't get the offer aren't good at their jobs, but it means that, the very, very best got the offer. But the people who didn't, they still had an internship at Adobe, and that means an awful lot when they go out there and they look for their next opportunity. So we would say, like, if you do land the apprenticeship, you get in there, work really hard with your employer to understand like what the opportunities are when the apprenticeship comes to an end. Is there an opportunity to turn it into a full-time role? Maybe there isn't, and you know that from the get-go. But while you're there, take as much advantage as you possibly can of all the opportunities that employer has to offer, and understand like the stories that you're going to tell about the work that you're doing there. Get the assets, get everything onto your portfolio, and when you leave, transition out with a really great package that's going to help you move on to your next opportunity, because that apprenticeship time is incredibly valuable in whatever comes next, whether or not it's a full-time opportunity or not.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. I think we're at time. Thank you all so much for coming. I'm going to stop sharing now. I don't know if the CSU team wants to wrap.
Yeah.
Great.
I want to say shout out to the Adobe team. Thank you so much for, hosting this info session with us and talking to all the students about the Adobe Apprenticeship. I know they greatly appreciate it and our team greatly appreciates it as well. Hopefully we'll have more events coming up soon with you all. And again, the CSUEA is an organization that helps connect students to the entertainment industry from campus to career. Anytime you guys have questions, feel free to DM us. If you are applying to the apprenticeship, let us know in our Instagram DMs or in our LinkedIn. We'd be happy to keep track throughout your journey and learn more about you all. Thank you. Hope you guys have a great Friday.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye,
you.
everybody.